To understand the intuition millionaire, we must first dismantle the illusion that our consciousness is a single, monolithic entity, a lone captain on the bridge of a ship steering through the dark. This is the great mirage of the ego. The truth is far more magnificent, far more layered, and holds the key to unlocking the genius we speak of. Imagine your mind not as a single room, but as a vast, ancient, and cosmic library. The conscious mind, the part of you reading these words, analyzing them, is the patron in the reading room. It is brilliant, capable of incredible focus and deduction, but it can only hold one, maybe two books at a time. Its light is a focused beam, illuminating a single specific aisle of information. This is the mind of logic, of step-by-step reasoning. It is indispensable, but it is not the whole library. Beneath this reading room, stretching down into depths that seem to have no end, are the countless labyrinthine stacks of the subconscious mind. This is the true repository. It is the archive of every single experience you have ever had, every sight, sound, and sensation, every conversation overheard, every emotion felt, every pattern ever observed since the moment of your birth, and some would argue, even before. This is not a dusty tomb of forgotten memories. It is a living, humming, dynamically cross-referenced database of unimaginable capacity. It is the source of your dreams, your creativity, your automatic bodily functions, and the home of that quiet, knowing voice. While the conscious mind reads one book, the subconscious has read, processed, and connected every book in the library simultaneously. It operates not on linear logic, but on pattern recognition, symbolism, and emotional resonance. It is the supercomputer running in the background of your being, and intuition is its user interface, the feeling it gives you when it has completed a calculation far too complex for the conscious patron to ever comprehend on its own. This leads us to the first core theme, the quantum bank account. We often think of decision-making as a process of weighing options on a simple scale of pros and cons. But this is a flatland view of a multidimensional process. Every choice you make is not just a choice of action, it is a vibrational transaction. You are a broadcasting tower, constantly emitting a frequency composed of your dominant thoughts, your deepest beliefs, and your most persistent emotions. This frequency resonates with a matching reality in the vast quantum field of potentiality, the invisible ocean of all that could be. Your intuition is your internal tuner, your divine feedback mechanism. It tells you when you are broadcasting on a frequency of lack, fear, and confusion. You feel it as anxiety, as a sinking feeling, as a sense of being off course. And it tells you when you are broadcasting on a frequency of abundance, love, and clarity. You feel it as that pull, that excitement, that deep peace, that sense of rightness, even in the face of logical uncertainty. Making a decision intuitively, then, is simply you choosing the option that most closely matches the frequency of the reality you wish to inhabit. It is making a withdrawal from the infinite abundance of the quantum field by aligning your vibrational currency. The second theme is the language this intuition uses, the somatic symphony. Your body is not merely a vehicle for your brain. It is the primary instrument through which your subconscious supercomputer communicates its findings. It is the physical manifest of your inner world. The conscious mind deals in words. The subconscious deals in sensation. That gut feeling, the clenching in your stomach when you're about to make a mistake you can't yet see, or the expansive, warm feeling in your chest when you encounter a profound truth, is not a poetic metaphor. It is literal biological intelligence. Your enteric nervous system, a complex web of neurons lining your gut, is often called the second brain. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet from your body, and its rhythm shifts dramatically based on your emotional state. Intuition speaks through this somatic vocabulary. Goosebumps are not just a reaction to cold, they are a marker of truth, a resonance detector that fires when something you hear or see aligns with your deepest purpose. A sudden, inexplicable wave of fatigue when considering a certain path is not laziness. It is your entire system signaling a massive energetic mismatch. The intuition millionaire has simply learned to become fluent in this somatic language, to read the whispers of their own flesh and blood as the divine data stream it truly is. Finally, we arrive at the third theme, which binds the others together: the illusion of linear time and the reality of synchronicity. Our conscious mind is enslaved to the tick-tock of the clock, the pages of the calendar. It believes firmly in cause and effect, in a straight line from past to present to future. But the subconscious, the quantum field, operates in a state of what we might call the eternal now. It does not recognize the separation between past, present, and future in the same way. This is why you can have a premonition, a gut feeling about an event that hasn't happened yet. Your subconscious has already read the patterns, connected the dots in a way your conscious mind cannot, and is sending you a signal. This is the engine of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. The right person calls at the right time. You stumble upon a book that answers a question you haven't even fully formed. An opportunity appears as if from nowhere. These are not accidents. They are the natural consequence of your internal vibration aligning with an external outcome. They are the universe's way of winking at you, of showing you that you are on the right frequency. The intuition millionaire does not chase success. They tune their frequency to it, and success, in the form of these meaningful coincidences, finds them. These three pillars, the quantum bank, the somatic symphony, and the collapse of linear time, form the hidden architecture behind every lucky break, every moment of genius, every instance of perfect timing. This is not mystical speculation. It is the operating system of human potential, waiting for us to finally log in. To truly know a thing, one must move beyond its blueprint and step into the living structure itself. We have mapped the architecture of the inner genius. Now, let us walk its halls through the language it understands best, the language of story, of symbol, of myth. For these are not mere fictions. They are the vessels through which the subconscious conveys its deepest truths, the patterns it recognizes across the tapestry of 1,000 lives. Listen, then, to two tales. One of a merchant bound by the world's noise, and one of a lighthouse, silent and sure amidst the storm. The parable of the two merchants. In a bustling city of spires and smoke lived two merchants, Alban and Cale. Both were ambitious, intelligent, and sought the same prize, a legacy of wealth and impact. Yet they navigated the turbulent waters of commerce by two different stars. Alban's world was a dazzling noise. His office was a temple to information, screens flickering with real-time data, ticker tapes spooling out numbers, newspapers piled high with the opinions of experts. He believed wealth was a fortress to be built brick by logical brick, each decision a calculated move on an infinite chessboard. He would stay awake deep into the night, his mind a frantic calculator, weighing probabilities, forecasting trends, and listening to the roar of the market. His body was a symphony of tension, a knotted stomach before a big meeting, a clenched jaw when a competitor gained ground, a constant low hum of anxiety that he mistook for diligence. He made decisions that were smart, defensible, and perfectly reasonable. And yet, somehow his victories were often pyrrhic, his gains hard-won and quickly eroded by some unforeseen shift, some variable his magnificent models had failed to account for. He was always working, always calculating, always one step behind the ghost of the next big thing. Cale, too, had an office,
but he was rarely in it. He would begin his days not with screens, but with silence. He would sit by the window, a cup of tea warming his hands, and he would simply watch the city awaken. He wasn't thinking, he was feeling. He was listening, not to the noise outside, but to the weather within. He was taking the barometric reading of his own soul. When presented with an opportunity, he would absorb all the logical data Albin would, but then he would walk away. He would go for a long stroll through the city gardens, feeling the sun on his skin, and he would pay attention to the sensations in his body. Did the prospect of the deal make his heart feel light and expansive, or did it create a subtle cold dread in his belly? He trusted these sensations more than any expert's column. Once he was on the verge of a massive, lucrative acquisition that all his advisors and all logic screamed was the chance of a lifetime. But during his walk, a profound sense of heaviness settled over him, a visceral feeling of wrongness he could not explain. To the utter bewilderment of his peers, he walked away. Weeks later, the company he nearly acquired was revealed to be a house of cards, built on a foundation of hidden debt. Cale hadn't outthought the problem, he had outfelt it. His wealth grew not through frantic effort, but through a series of resonant alignments. He was not a hunter of opportunity, he was a magnet for it, because his internal compass was calibrated to the frequency of true value, not just perceived value. Albin traded in information. Cale traded in resonance. The allegory of the silent lighthouse. Now, picture a different scene. A lone sailor is trapped in a furious storm at night. The world is a chaos of howling wind and towering black waves that crash over the deck of their small boat. This storm is life's turmoil, the financial pressures, the relational conflicts, the health scares, the overwhelming noise of 1,000 demands. The sailor is terrified, exhausted. They're using every ounce of their strength and knowledge to survive. Fighting the wheel, trying to read maps under a failing lamp, scanning the horizon for any sign of land, any fixed point in the madness. This is the conscious mind in a state of panic, relying solely on its limited, immediate resources. It is pure reaction, pure struggle. Unbeknownst to the sailor, just a few miles away, on a sturdy promontory, stands a lighthouse. It is ancient, built into the very rock of the coast. It is your intuitive self. The storm rages around it too, but it remains utterly unmoved. Its foundation is too deep, its structure too sound, and within its tower, a great light revolves, cutting a steady, unwavering beam through the darkness and the sheets of rain. It is not shouting. It is not fighting the storm. It is simply doing what it has always done, emitting its signal, its pulse of truth, its silent call home. The sailor, in their desperation, has forgotten the lighthouse exists. They are so focused on the immediate threat of each wave, so deafened by the storm, that they have failed to remember the one thing that could guide them to safety. Then, in a moment of exhausted surrender, a moment where they stop fighting the wheel and simply slump against it, they see it. A single, brilliant flash of light cuts through the gloom. It is gone in an instant, but it was there. Hope, not as a thought but as a feeling, sparks in their chest. They remember. They stop trying to think their way out and instead become still, waiting, watching. The light comes again and again, a steady, rhythmic pulse. They are not yet safe, but they are no longer lost. They now have a direction. They turn the boat not with the frantic strength of fear, but with the calm certainty of alignment. Each wave is still large, the wind still howls, but the struggle is over. They are no longer fighting the storm. They are moving through it, guided by a light that the storm cannot extinguish. The journey is still work, but it is no longer suffering. It is purposeful movement toward a known haven. You are both the sailor and the lighthouse. The storm is the external world. The frantic striving is the conscious mind alone. The silent, unwavering light is your intuition. The moment of surrender is not a moment of giving up, but a moment of giving in to a deeper knowing, a deeper guidance system that has been active all along, waiting for you to still the noise and look for its signal. These stories are the echoes of a truth your subconscious already recognizes. They are the patterns of alignment versus struggle, of resonance versus reason alone, of the silent guide within.